Chris? Sorry, Ethan. Why?
Resident Evil 7 came out about 3 years ago, officially, and with the official reveal of Resident Evil 8, there's one big question that seems to puzzle everyone's mind. First of all, how many boulders did Chris eat to get that friggin' huge? The trailer seems to give this theme of Chris Redfield going down a dark path. At part of the trailer, we see him just execute this poor defenseless woman we all can assume is Mia Winters, Ethan's wife, which is something that makes me wonder, why? First theory, Mia Winters wasn't a saint who survived the horrendous encounter of Evelyn in the past. She was part of the creation of Evelyn and was actually the primary caretaker. Now, I'm not exactly sure if Chris knew about Mia's murky past, but it could be a possible motive. Considering that Umbrella Corporation wanted to completely erase all traces of Evelyn's case and anyone who knew about it, come on. Now, another theory I could possibly have about Mia is that she is still working with the Connections. Now, let me give you a backstory about this criminal syndicate. These guys actually worked in collaboration with TheWesker's HCF, Hive Host Capture Force, to create this Evelyn project. Now, no one's not exactly sure if Wesker was exactly a part of the production for this virus, but it's not official. No one exactly knows about that detail. Now, I don't know about you, but anything with Wesker's name on it doesn't exactly give me good feelings. It was always Chris's responsibility to stop any type of creation of bioweapons by any means necessary, especially if it has anything to do with Wesker. And let's also talk about Umbrella Corporation, or Blue Umbrella for short. This corporation was founded to stop and destroy anything that old Umbrella did in the past. They kept the name Umbrella to make it publicly known that they were aware of who they used to be and are making it their responsibility to stop what they created, which is pretty bold if you ask me. While being under a very close eye from the UN, any task that had to be dealt with on the field was automatically passed on to the BSAA or any other anti-bioweapon organization. In cooperation with BSAA, I'm going to say that a lot, completely wrong. In cooperation with BSAA, soldiers were given specific anti-BOW weapons to fend off against these monsters, which explains the cool weapons and the helmet HUD that was in the Not Hero DLC. Now back to my point. This is just pure speculation, which is basically this entire video. But how do we not know if Umbrella once again might have something up their sleeve as always, you know? They could be playing good guys just to gain trust and get more access to resources they shouldn't have their hands on, just to use it against the world, making Redfield suit up once again and take down this new public figure with an extremely long last name. Now this would be my last theory, and this one is more about the mental of Chris Redfield. If you play a lot of the past entries with Chris, you would know that Chris has been through a lot, and I mean a lot. Seeing some of his best comrades die in the heat of battle or sacrifice themselves to save him, losing contact with his sister after she gets kidnapped on multiple occasions, I think in the same game as a matter of fact, I believe this is Code Veronica, I'm not exactly sure. Watching his partner in crime allegedly fall to her death after once again getting saved from receiving the final blow from Albert Wesker himself. And the list goes on and on and on. Let's go back to the beginning of the Resident Evil reveal trailer for a second and read the very first line. His story comes to a close. There's a lot of speculation that this could be the end of Ethan Winters, but what if this is the end of Chris Redfield? And I don't mean the actual death of him or anything like that, even though that could be a possibility. But what if this is the death of the heroism of Chris Redfield? Like almost like and I'm glad this is probably a bad reference, but I'm not exactly sure. But let's go back to the whole Luke Skywalker trilogy. Not Luke, I'm sorry, Anakin Skywalker, where it was almost destined for Anakin Skywalker to be this hero that everyone needs, but there was something about him that was within himself that made others somewhat uncomfortable. Now, that's not exactly the same exact problem with Chris, but Chris, again, going through his years of being on the military service, he has had, outbursts. He is one of those soldiers who does whatever the hell he wants to get the job done by any means necessary. So, I mean, would it be a surprise if Chris was to just be like, you know what, I'm done, screw it, you know, I'm going to do my own thing, and even if that means hurting others or completely executing somebody's wife with such ease, you know what I mean? So I'm going off script here. I don't know why. Chill. Like I said before, Chris has seen a lot in his years of being with the BSAA and before. Resident Evil 8 is set 3 years after the events of Resident Evil 7. A lot could have happened within those 3 years for Chris, and a certain event could have fully pushed Chris off the edge into a certain dark place. My theory, and this is my biggest theory, I feel like Resident Evil 8 is going to be something very, very personal, to a point where we'll see a new side of Chris that we've never seen before, for better or for worse. Who is Chris going to be in Resident Evil 8? And then you look at the cover art, you know, you just, you know, this even the overall trailer at that, I mean, this is like a 30-second part of the whole trailer, but you know, what really caught me is like, who is Chris going to be? And I think Chris, we're going to see a whole new side of him that we've never seen before, and I think it's going to be something that's going to be very, 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 very memorable, you know. And I honestly feel like they're not going to kill off Ethan so easily. I mean, they literally just brought this man into this series with no sense of background whatsoever. What we know about Ethan is just, you know, someone who tried to find his wife after missing for 3 years, and he survived all of that just for him to die from something crazy. I don't know, but I mean, this is Resident Evil 8. They have no problem killing off characters for almost no reason. But yeah, I'm going off a tangent. I need to check on 10 minutes here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And if you're new here, consider hitting that like button or even subscribing. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.